How are you doing? Something that you're likely to come across in a maths class at some stage of your career is the slope. So let's try and find out what that is. You may have heard the term gradient or the inclination, or even a very popular way to say it is the rate of change, because that kind of explains what it is. So that's what we're going to try and explain in this. Let's think of a little girl who decides she's going to save, and her mom and dad decide to give her some pocket money. So we're going to say she's going to get, let's say, €2 every week. That's what the parents decide to give her €2 every week. So €2 per week. Now in her piggy bank, to start with, she's got €3 to start. You might be asked, or you might wonder, how can I work out what is she going to get? What amount of money would she have in her piggy bank at the end of 7 weeks? Now we're dealing with simple figures, so you can probably work that out in your head. So at week 7, how much money does she have? Okay, so let's say she starts here with her €3 in her piggy bank, and this is without any time passing. So as we go from left to right, we're going to say this is week 1 here, and she's still got the €3 that she had at the beginning, but now she's got, let's use a different color for this. So the parents have given her €2 more. That's great. She's now, after 1 week, she got €5. Now most people would have no difficulty with that. Here she has the 3 that she started with, and there's the 2 from last week. So at the end of week 2, she's got €7. So what we were asked at the end of 7 weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, how much money is she going to have? So let's work this out. Each week she's getting €2 added on each week. So 2, 4, 6. As we count up the weeks here from left to right, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. So by the time she gets to week 7, she should have €14 from pocket money. The thing is, she's already got the €3 to begin with. And let's fill these guys in. Ideally, 1, 2 from the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, fifth week, sixth week, and the 7th week. If we counted all of those, we should have, well, the 2 multiplied by 7 weeks, €2 each week will give us 14, and the 3 that she started with, so we should have €17. Now how did we work that out? So we said initially she had 3 in her bank account, or in her little piggy bank, and we added on €2 per week, and the time that passed was 7 weeks. So we had €2 every week for 7 weeks. That should give us our final amount. 2 by 7 is 14, plus the 3 gives us the 17. Most people wouldn't have too much difficulty working that out to be 17. Then you could obviously extend this. Let's say after 10 weeks. So same thing. This is just 7 weeks. Let's do the same thing after 10 weeks. She's got the 3 from the beginning, and she's got €2 per week, and then she's got 10 weeks passing by, so surely that would be 23. And you could work out the amount the little girl has got in her money box after as many weeks as you want. You've noticed already probably that this is the weeks. This is the starting amount. and this guy here is the amount she gets per week. So that's kind of what we're interested in here. The amount she gets per week, otherwise known as the slope, the rate of change. If we went from no time passing back here, up there, added on 2 each week, if you notice, if you were to take a ruler and draw a straight line across here, what's happening is, moving from left to right, this amount is growing by €2 every week. And that's all we mean by the slope. So the slope of this line that I've drawn in dotted green marker there is €2. And as you can understand from this example, that's the rate of change. So each week it's increasing by €2. Pretty easy. You get this straight line effect, and we call that a linear. So we're talking about a linear mathematical equation. Let's draw it in a way that you might see in your textbook. Taking this blue writing here, 3 was the starting amount, 2 each week, and by 7 weeks gave us 17. And they call this a starting amount a constant because it doesn't change. Each week you're still going to add 3, and if we did more examples there, you'd still be adding 3 because that's what you had at the beginning. Back over here, you can see this is already beginning to look like an XY graph that you might have already heard. Going from left to right, we call that the x-axis, and we call this the y-axis. Now the amount would be shown on the y-axis. So in week 7, for example, we can see going straight over here, this would be 17. Surely this would be at no weeks past, this would be 3. That wasn't clear. 3 there. At 1 week we had 5. So you can see you'd have a scale here, clearly on the y-axis called it's 17. On the x-axis we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right up to 7 weeks. So this 7 was for 7 weeks, so we put that on the x-axis. The amount there we said was on the y-axis. Let's put in our letter. And this 2 was the slope. Put in the brackets for multiplication there. So let's go to our next piece of paper, and we'll just take that straight over this piece here and rearrange it. So we said we'd C for a constant plus the slope multiplied by the x, which was the week, would give us the y, which is the amount that the little girl had in her piggy bank. Rearranging this to be the traditional way of rearranging this would put the y here, especially if you're into physics or that. And the slope often is denoted by the letter m. So we've got this bit, and then we'll just add the c along at the end, and you can see that that's an equation. So there's no problem just turning it around and putting the y on this side and the c on the far side. Y is equal to mx plus c, and you would be familiar with that from your class. You may have heard somebody mentioning it in that, and that's a linear equation with m as your slope. Rate of change.